The next morning, Saturday morning. The screen of the mobile flashed blue as it vibrated across the bedside table, coming dangerously close to the edge. Eleanor moaned in agitation, slowly waking up from her wonderful dream and feeling regret that she was already forgetting it. She furrowed her brow angrily at the loud and overly happy sound of her ringtone. Rolling over, she pushed herself up with a groan, catching the mobile before it fell off the table and landed on the floor. She flipped it open. "Hello? Hey, Eleanor, how are you?" "Drake?" She sat upright suddenly, wide awake. "Drake, it's so good to hear from you. How are you? Are you still in bed?" Drake said, incredulous. "I should have known." Eleanor groaned again, turning to look at the clock on her bedroom wall. "It's only 7:30. She spoke in her morning voice. "I was up an hour ago." Drake chirped happily. "Doing what?" "Revising." "Don't be stupid." She rolled back into bed, withdrawing into her blankets like a hermit into its shell. "Cheyenne and I had a sleepover. We were up late last night watching horror." "Oh yeah," Drake replied. "Just the sort of thing you want to watch before you go to bed. Did you have any nightmares by any chance?" "There was this really horrible bit in one where someone drives a lawnmower over someone else's face," Eleanor said dramatically, ignoring Drake's question. "That's horrible." "That's what I said. There were so many jumpy things in it. I just had to ask Cheyenne to tell me when they were coming up so I wouldn't get scared." "Because she's seen it before." "What's the point in that?" Drake scoffed. "I thought you watch horror because you like getting scared." "No, I watch horror because it's exciting, but it didn't work anyway because Cheyenne kept deliberately forgetting to tell me when the jumpy bits were coming up." "So you had fun then?" Drake asked. "Sure did." "Who's that on the phone?" Cheyenne asked, yawning as she sat up beside her. "Hey, you're taking all the blankets. No wonder my ass is cold." "It's Drake," Eleanor told her. "Drake?" Cheyenne rolled over to the other side of the bed, resting with her head on her hands. "Could you ask him if Lucas is still coming tomorrow?" "Why didn't you ask him yourself?" Eleanor said. "He's your boyfriend." "I can't speak to Lucas at the moment because my phone is broken." Cheyenne sighed. "And I forgot his number." "Fine," Eleanor sighed dramatically. She spoke to Drake again. "Cheyenne wants to know if Lucas is coming down tomorrow." "Yeah, we both are," Drake replied. Eleanor gave a thumbs up to Cheyenne, who turned away with a smile and went back to sleep, taking most of the blankets with her. "I'd better go now anyway," Drake said. "Aw. Sorry, babe, I'm just going out. And anyway, you should have your breakfast, I suppose." "Where are you off to then?" Eleanor asked. "Just going to town. Apparently there's going to be a show there today. 2 street dancing brothers." "Cool," Eleanor said, perking up. "Well, I hope you have fun." "You too," Drake answered. "Whatever it is you two are doing today." "I love you, Drake," she smiled. "I love you too." He ended the call. The girl slowed to a stop, glancing fearfully around her and wondering which direction the danger was going to come from and which direction she should run to next. Clutching the hem of her white dress, palms sweating now, she noticed an insect hover above her head. It was a dragonfly. They were very close now, those that hunted her. The dragonfly darted back and forth quickly before whizzing away in another direction. The girl followed at a run, barefoot across the skate park and weaving in and out of the people who all saw through her, completely oblivious to her presence. She fled the scene, and moments later her pursuers appeared. They met in the centre of the skate park, appearing from different directions. "Where is she?" the black creature called Krias hissed, crawling on all fours, red eyes gleaming pupilless. "We've lost her," his companion realized with a howl of fury. Lee sniffed the concrete feverishly, crouching close to the ground on her long legs. "That way," the canine beast cried. "Stop right there," commanded another voice. Lee growled in acknowledgement at the newcomers, white eyes narrowing at her adversaries. They were freakish, pupilless like her companions. "We will not let you hurt her," the guardian ordered. He stood tall and proud alongside his own companions, a girl with long blue hair and an aberrant with a figure shaped like a man but with black skin and large bat-like wings. "The longer you stall us, the further she runs," Lee informed him. The tall guardian averted his attention, brushing his fingers through his fiery red hair as if in disinterest. He let his hand drop, speaking now to the youngest of the three, the blue-haired girl. "Siren, see if you can find her," he said. "Don't lose her trail. We're so close now." The young guardian clutched tightly the orb she held in her hands. She left her companion's side, jogging. She headed in the direction the one dressed in white had fled. The winged guardians watched her go silently. "Indigo," Krias purred. "You are missing one in your company." The slinking black creature before them chattered happily, his red eyes laughing at them in mockery. The red-haired guardian glanced behind him towards the winged guardian. "Where is she?" he muttered under his breath. "She seems to be preoccupied lately," the winged guardian answered in a flat tone. "Was something more important?" Indigo replied, exasperated. He turned back to the creatures before him. "We are evenly matched," he declared. "Or so it would seem," Lee replied smoothly. "This isn't how it should be," Krias told them, daring to crawl closer. "We should be working together." "To kill her?" Indigo cried. "We're trying to protect her." "Is that right?" the slinking creature said, leering. "And what do you think the king will do with her if you bring her to him?" he asked the red-haired guardian. "He will keep her safe," Indigo replied. "Will he now?" Krias cackled. "Just ask yourself. Do you truly believe that, or do you just want to believe it?" The winged guardian behind Indigo began to groan, clutching his chest, body hunched over. "Looks like one of you at least is in no position to fight," Lee remarked. Indigo clenched his fists, jaw tightening. "Let us not shed blood here," Lee went on. "We don't want to do ourselves an injury," she gleamed sardonically. "At least not if we can help it. Not yet, anyway." She ran away then, after Siren, and in the same direction the girl in white had fled. Indigo called for them to stop, though his efforts were futile. He knew he was no match for the two of them, not on his own at least. He gritted his teeth, turning back to his companion. "Culture, are you going to be all right?" "Yes," the aberrant said, smiling, as he lowered his body to the ground. "I just need to rest a while." He lay back on the pavement, breathing a deep sigh as he relaxed his muscles. "Go," he said. Indigo gave a nod, then ran after the creatures, leaving the aberrant alone in the skate park to rest. A short pursuit followed that ended in failure. The creatures snarled and howled in frustration, throwing curses and words of hate towards the guardians for delaying them. They turned their tails and ran away. The two creatures returned to their master, who was waiting patiently for them in another part of the town. "Well," he said when they appeared. Krias began to cackle. "We saw her, very briefly though. She is here after all, as we thought." "And the net?" the master asked. "You've trapped it here?" Lee growled with the thrill and pleasure, still excited from the chase. Her white, pupil-less eyes gleamed. "The net is complete. She is trapped here, with thanks to the others." "Thanks?" the master asked. "They were creating a net to trap her also," Lee replied, "like we were." "I see," the master said thoughtfully. "Well, it makes sense. We have the same cause after all. It's just too bad we're not working together. Things would be so much easier if we were." "They will not be convinced," Krias said, slinking forwards and hissing in frustration. The master nodded in understanding. "You've done well, Krias and Lee," he said, looking from one to the other. The two changed then, transforming into their human selves. Krias cracked his knuckles and Lee brushed her hair back. The master grinned cruelly. "It's become a game then," he said. "Who will catch her first?"